Hello, my name is Heather Stapelmann. I am a nurse manager at St. Mary's Care Center in Madison, Wisconsin. St. Mary's Care Center is one of the 2 long-term care facilities in our organization, and it's where I get to live out my childhood dream of caring for people. I've been with SSM Health since June 1999, and this coming Monday will be my 16th anniversary. I started out as a floor nurse, and I quickly climbed the ladder, and for the last 15 years, I've been a nurse manager caring for elderly patients with dementia. I was nominated for this by a colleague who is just as deserving of this honor as I am. At St. Mary's Care Center, like most SSM organizations, we're a family. From the staff to the residents to their families. It's that family bond and that family approach that allows us to live out SSM's mission, vision, and values. It's where we really see the healing presence of God. The opportunity to care for residents in an innovative way is something I truly value in this organization. To have the support and the resources to meet a resident with dementia where they're at, to be able to come up with interventions and care approaches that are not the norm and are out of the box, with the residents' needs being the driving force. We have amazing opportunities to provide for our residents what other long-term care facilities don't. This is what makes us leaders. This is what makes us exceptional. One of the most memorable examples that will stay in my heart forever is this amazing couple who came to live in our memory care unit. The husband came to stay first, with his wife coming a few weeks later after it was clear to the family that they just could not be separated. For HIPAA purposes, we'll call them Ken and Doris. You see, they've been lifelong sweethearts, knowing each other since childhood and began dating at 15. They spent their entire lives together as friends, partners, parents, grandparents, and most importantly, husband and wife. One of our standard questions when we're planning care is, how can we help your stay here be exceptional? Ken's response had touched me like no other had. I just want to be able to hold my sweetie, to be able to lie next to her. I was taken back for a moment. I usually get responses that have to do with food choices or activities or daily routines. This response was special. This was something exceptional. I went home that night and I couldn't get this out of my mind. A lifetime together, a lifetime of love and friendship, separated by a room across the hall because of their need for dementia care and standard policies. I was angry, I was frustrated. Who are we to decide that these 2 people can't spend the rest of their lives together, holding each other, loving each other, as they have for the last 60 years? So our work began. We researched, we planned, we went through every scenario and barrier to come up with an approach that would work. It took months, but we did it. We got approval for a double bed like they use in the birthing suites, and were able to arrange the room setup so that one room was their bedroom and the other room was their living room. When the bed arrived, I set up the rooms. I brought Ken and Doris to see. Doris was so sweet and thankful, saying over and over again how wonderful this was. Ken said nothing. He just sat quietly in the doorway looking around with tears in his eyes. His response proved that all the hard work was worth it, that we could accomplish difficult tasks just as long as we had hope, faith, and believe. We can make exceptional things happen. Ken and Doris spent 6 months living together until Ken's health started to fail. As much as I hated to do so, I had to make the decision to have them in separate beds, to give our team the ability to help Ken at a level he needed. Killed me. Doris's memory was so poor she just couldn't remember or understand. She would ask multiple times over and over again when they could be back together, and kept telling me that he would just get better if they were together. His care requirements were such that being in a double bed would be physically challenging for both him and the staff. But we just couldn't let it end this way. I brought my team together to figure this out. How are we going to help them be together? At first, the staff came up with all the reasons why it couldn't happen. I listened, and then I said, great, now we have everything we need to come up with a plan that works, because making this work for their final days is the only option. They saw what I saw, an endless love that needed to be honored. We were able to form a plan to make their wishes a reality despite the challenges. A few weeks later, Ken passed away. lying next to his sweetie in bed. As she held his hand, he took his last breath. The fact that I was nominated and the nomination was selected is so humbling. How I go about the work I do at St. Mary's Care Center is just an extension of the gifts and the blessing God has given me, along with the lessons I've learned in my life and through healthcare. People ask me all of the time, how do you do it? How can you stand it? The response is very simple. It's my dream, and SSM, through its mission, vision, and values, allows that to be a reality. Thank you.